So when did you know, like, that she was the one for you?
October 21st, 1975.
Jesus Christ, you know the fucking day?
Oh, yeah. Day of the game. We're sitting in a bar waiting for the game to start, and in walks this girl.
What the heck? Vune, this is why we have this, isn't it? Isn't it? Aw. Mer. How are you? It's going good. It's going good. I was just saying that this weekend has flown by. We had a couple things planned, but other than that, I mean, we've just been putzing around and the time is just going by too fast. But everyone's got to eat, so we might as well cook some dinner together. You've been on a 24-hour high because of love you're getting from people. Amazing. For your new business venture, Vune? Is that what it's for? All of the love. That's so good. Just because of your posts on Instagram and such? I mean, if it makes you feel good, then I think you're on the right track, right? You saw the post in Discord from Sammy, the new little big green egg. Super cute. You got storied by a big IGer and your phone wouldn't stop beeping today. What? That's so good, Vune. Good job. Yeah, we had some hot dogs for lunch today. We grilled up some hot diggity dogs on that little thing. We christened it, and they were so good. Beef and cheddar hot dogs from the local butcher shop here. They make it themselves. Thank you for the follow, D Marie 2000. Welcome in. Yeah, round baby Yoda. It is the cutest thing ever. Absolutely the cutest. The plan we have for that is hopefully to take it to the beach in the summertime and have some beach fires at night. Much easier than building a fire. I didn't even notice that you said yoga and not Yoda. I just assumed that it was supposed to be Yoda. We're good, Vune. We're good. Okay, so salmon Wellington or salmon on croute going down today. A little bit of meal prep, I think, is going to be involved. I think that's a smart thing to do with something like this because it's easier to do a bunch of them than to just do a couple of them. So this is one of those things that we can prep a couple extra and then put into the freezer for future use. And it is inspired from a Gordon Ramsay recipe, so let's not let him down today. Thanks, Vune. I think we finally nailed the lighting in here as well. Yeah, I don't like wearing a ton of makeup. Mostly just like lipstick is how I dress up. Keep it simple. Okay, so we are going to be cutting our portions for the salmon en croute from a whole side of salmon that I caught earlier in the summer in August, and then we just vacuum sealed the entire side of it. So we get to portion it today, make some fillings for the salmon en croute. So if we have either seen or even eaten beef Wellington before, this is a pretty popular dish. So a beef tenderloin with mushroom duxelle, and then it's wrapped in puff pastry sheets and baked. And that one's a little bit difficult just to make sure that you don't overcook your meat. And so that is what the salmon en croute is inspired from, is a beef Wellington. So beef Wellington, salmon Wellington. It's really, really good. We are going to stay with the mushrooms today with it because we have some mushrooms that Zach foraged for this past week. He found quite a few chanterelles again. So I thought we would use those. It's been really good with salmon. I mean, mushrooms and salmon is supposed to not be a thing, but so far I've been really enjoying putting these wild mushrooms with the fish at least. So we'll make a cream with that, and then I thought we would make like kind of creamed spinach, because I feel like we always need something creamy or saucy to go with salmon and pastry. It's just a happy combination, a good trio. And then to kind of freshen things up, some citrus glazed beets and a radish and herb salad. So lots of contrasting textures and flavors with this. Ooh, I think the groceries might be here, or there's something going on outside. I am waiting, I think, for a couple things to get delivered from the grocery guy. He's supposed to be here between 3 and 5, so he has an hour to get here. Otherwise, I am waiting for some beets, but I also wanted to pick a couple from the garden. I know they're pretty small though, so I just wanted to have backup beets just in case. I did make a list for myself today just because this is a more involved dinner. That's why I'm attempting it on a Sunday night when I have a little bit more time to play around. So for the Wellington, here are our steps. So portion the salmon, defrost the pastry, which I already took it out of the freezer. This is what I bought from the store. This is one of those things that unless you A, have a lot of time, or B, have a bakery sheeter on hand, which most people don't because they cost about $10,000. I'm not gonna attempt to make the puff pastry myself. So that is one time where I'll cheat a little bit and buy the frozen stuff. So defrost that, we can already check that off. We want it defrosted, but still nice and cold so that when we work with it, the heat from our hands isn't going to make it fall apart. So there is a happy medium there for that. After that, we'll make our mushroom duxelle cream, because that is going into the pastry with the salmon. We can season our salmon with salt and pepper, and then we wrap it and chill it. So chill it for about 20 minutes, either the fridge or the freezer, either one is good, wherever you have the most room. And then this gets baked at 375 Fahrenheit for about 15 minutes. It really depends on the size of, I guess, Wellingtons you're gonna make. So some people like to do individual, which I'm gonna go with today. Just that way we have separate portions, and because I'm making a bunch, it'll just be easier to pull them from the freezer and keep them portioned that way. Also, I wanted to give a couple to Zach. It's not a lot of work. It's a little bit of work for sure. Yeah, skip the cooking, come visit and eat what you cook. Yes, come over, Vune. Come on over. Okay, so that's the salmon. We'll definitely, no, you know what? We'll do all the salmon at once. We'll get that going first, and then for our beets, they shouldn't take too long. I want to steam them today instead of roasting them. And then we just have to zest and juice some citrus. And I want to make the glaze with some honey. I thought that would be nice. So kind of sweet and sour beets. You told your wife again today that you would love to live in Canada or the US. You should. I mean, you don't know until you try, right? Okay, other vegetable side dish. So our radish salad. I thought we would shave the radishes, so make it nice and delicate, and then dress it with some lemon, basil, and dill, and olive oil. So that's our like nice and fresh and crunchy component to the dish, because the salmon itself is gonna be quite rich. I will say that. Quite rich. And then our sauce to go under the Wellington and keep it from like moving around on the plate because it's pastry is just a spinach kind of cream. So we'll blanch the spinach with a little bit of garlic and then blend it with cream and wine that we heated up prior to that. So it'll be like a very nice, vibrant green sauce. I thought that would look good. She said no. No! Why the heck not?
Dude!
Ahoy, Annie. How are you today? You're doing well. That's good to hear. That is good to hear. Okay, let's start this up. This is going to be a stream of streams. I don't think everything will take too long. Okay, let's get this big piece of salmon out first so we can start portioning it. And then we'll go from there. Today was a day of errands. Nice. So you got a bunch of stuff done. We've been like still moving around stuff in our house. We're still nesting. Figuring out some stuff. Hi McGregor, how are you?
I got the mini egg set up.
Yeah, Sammy got the mini egg set up. I don't know if you guys saw in Discord.
Hot dogs.
Zach brought over some more mushrooms, so we had some lunch with him. Sam cooked him some hot dogs to have after his foraging adventure. Yeah, nesting behavior is common in the winter. Thank you for that, Annie. We all understand this. We need the big, big board.
Big.
What you got going on?
Garlic fried rice.
Garlic fried rice snacks.
Yeah.
Round Baby Yoda for the name of the small egg. I like it.
The extra large meat cooker.
The cake cooker?
Yeah.
What? It's huge. It's huge. It really is though. I think when I caught this fish, it was around 20-ish pounds.
Yeah.
So this is half of it. I'm gonna fix this for a sec. Get the comfy mats out. All right. Look at this beautiful, beautiful piece of salmon.
Maybe we'll paint the bass blueberry.
What's blueberry? Really blue? Sammy's being distracting. It's okay, guys. So we will mostly when we're making Wellington, we do want to take thicker pieces of fish, so we don't want to get too thin of pieces. So I'll probably cut this around here and then use the rest of this and definitely trim some of the belly away too. So kind of this, and then we get that. So we'll probably get around 8 Wellingtons, 6 or 8 Wellingtons. And then the rest of this, at least we can leave the skin on it depending on how we want to cook it after. That's our plan of action, guys. And the salmon's still very cold. I just pulled it out of the freezer this morning. We want our meat to be very cold while doing this, just because we are working with pastry and obviously raw fish as well. So we want everything to stay as cold as possible, just to preserve the freshness of it. I mean, pastry with butter, if it gets too warm, it will start to come apart. Yeah, if only trimming away the belly were just that easy, right, Vune? Just trim this away and we're good to go here. I was also busy this morning, guys, doing up my 3 recipes that I submitted for our Team Bonin holiday e-cookbook. That's one of the rewards for our St. Jude charity. And we're rolling the charity through to the end of December as well. So you still have a bit to get into that cookbook. It's gonna be pretty amazing just reading through some of the plans for it. Yeah, pisco suction. What? I guess this is where we get to use this one. Dun, na, na, na. Hello, Scrump. How's it going? When did I purchase this? I never purchased it, actually. The only thing I purchased to get this fish was a fishing license. So I caught this fish in the middle of August of this year and vacuum sealed it and put it away in the freezer until now. Thanks, McGregor. Yeah, with my bare hands. I worked for this fish. So much fun. I think in the next month or so, I'll be going out again. Because this is kind of the last big piece of fish, and then the rest are just smaller pieces that we already cured gravlax style. I'm gonna say trim this here. What happened? Oh no. Even that though, if we lift that up, that's still a really nice tail piece. So now that it's still just like a touch frosty, you can put that back in the freezer still because it's not completely thawed out. And then if we look at the rest of this, look at that. I'm just gonna cut off a little bit of this belly over here, and then we can basically just cut it down the center. I will say, after tasting the salmon that I caught, I don't think I can ever go back to store-bought salmon. I'd rather not eat it, to be honest, than to, I don't know, just be like, I need salmon. I don't know, the quality is so different. This doesn't taste like fish at all. And it has absolutely no smell. And then the other important thing when making stuff on Croute or Wellington style is we do want all of our pieces to be very consistent in size so that when we go to bake it in the oven, it all bakes at the same amount of time. And then I'll just trim up this side as well. Okay, so I think the belly I will put away for sure, as well as the tail piece, and then all we have to do is take the skin off of this and then portion it up. Your mom went to a restaurant in Atlanta and she had a cauliflower steak. They cut it right through the middle so it was thick like a steak. They had all kinds of different sauces on the side. She said it was really good. I have seen that and I think I'd be really satisfied if I ate that. Really want to do it on the egg with Sammy. Some cauli steaks. Okay, I'm just gonna put that stuff on a plate. Cauliflower tastes really good when it's like charred or roasted. You can basically treat it like meat. It's quite a meaty vegetable. All right, so since this this side's already kind of peeling away. I think that's where I'll start. So I'm gonna angle this away from myself and kind of show you guys how to take the skin off. I mean, usually you take it off the whole fillet at one time, but because I didn't want to take the skin off of the other pieces I'm putting aside, I'll just skin this on its own, and it looks like it's not gonna be too bad. So we want obviously a nice sharp knife, and we want a knife that is long enough to fit through the entire piece of skin. So we don't want the piece of salmon to be like out here and us trying to get the skin off of it. Obviously that won't work. So hold on to our piece of skin. If this was a fillet, this would be the tail end. You just slide your knife there, and then once you get your knife under a little bit, hold that piece of skin very tight, just with your fingernails or in between your fingers, and start wiggling your knife. This might be a little bit more difficult for me right now just because the piece of salmon is slightly frozen. But there is a nice layer of fat in between the salmon skin. So that's when you're usually able to get it off quite easily. If we flip it over and look here, that's that darker layer of fat I'm talking about. It actually might be easier for me to just do it like this. Just nice fluid motions. I mean, even if we miss a couple pieces of skin, you can always go back and trim it off afterwards. The key thing here is that we keep as much flesh of the salmon together as possible. So we don't want to leave a bunch of the flesh on the skin when we're doing this. Okay, so it's basically just sticking right here because this is where it's still pretty frozen. Once we get past that, I should be able to turn it back over and do this properly. But like I said, I'd rather be doing this while the salmon is very cold and have everything stay really nice and fresh. So now I'm gonna start this other side and meet in the middle. Hanging it up on the wall for what? When your knife is almost too sharp. I might have to let this thaw a bit more because this is just gonna waste our time. Oh, actually, not bad at all. Can definitely say this is the first time I've ever skinned a salmon like this. Okay, now we're all one level again. This is actually a good dish to practice your salmon butchery skills because think about the piece of fish, it's gonna be wrapped up. So if you nick it up a little bit, that's okay. It's not like you're just gonna peel the pastry off and be like, oh wow, this piece of fish is really bad looking. I mean, we definitely want to keep it one nice piece. But this is a dish where maybe if you're not super confident with your skills, you can practice. If the piece isn't perfect, no one's really gonna notice, so you can hide it a little bit. And I don't think I would recommend keeping the skin on for a Wellington. I think it would get too rubbery. And yeah, the texture would just kind of get ruined with the pastry. things would get too soggy. Okay, look at us go. It's not as bad as I thought. I mean, having a nice sharp knife definitely helps. Just this little piece here where it's kind of divoted down. Boom. Okay, here, obviously clean off any spot that kind of looks like scales. Definitely don't want that. But if it's just the darker fat, that's totally okay. Yeah, showing some skin. Ah! On Twitch? No way. TOS. Okay, there you go. Now when we turn this over, it's gonna look beautiful. I'm just gonna rinse this knife off. There we go. Just there's a couple scales on the knife, so I don't want those on it for when we portion the fish. No scales in the Wellington, guys. Nope, nope. Okay. So usually about like 4-ounce pieces of fish in a Wellington is good, because we have to think about the pastry around it and that it's also going to get a filling inside. So it's gonna be a pretty heavy dish, I think. I'm gonna weigh this entire thing and then we'll get a better idea of how many fillets we'll actually get. It really is a nice piece of fish. Yeah, Zach's definitely ruined us for eating fish now. I almost refuse to buy it from the store. Hojerific, how are you? Yeah, I feel like she's done this knife work before. Okay, let's see. So 3 pounds. 3 pounds on the dot. That's a 3-pound piece of fish. I did not see that coming. Okay, let me do a little bit of math. They teach it in culinary school, exactly. You do an entire month. The course is butchery, so you do like whole animals. So we did a side of beef, side of pork, side of lamb, and then you do your poultry, rabbit, and then seafood. So basically each week you're learning something new. Okay. Let's do 8 pieces, guys. So I'm gonna cut this in half and then cut each of the halves into 4. I think that's gonna be amazing. Yeah, just under a serving size. Then I'm just gonna put this, or put them on this cutting board. Keep them nice and cold. just like that. I put a towel because remember they are still just slightly frozen. So we don't want the juices to go everywhere. Bisections upon bisections. Okay, just found a scale there. Not having it. Boom. This piece is gonna be insanely delicious. Because it's thinner here, I'm gonna go a little bit wider for that. So that. There's a company that sells wild salmon from Alaska called Wild for Salmon. Have I heard of it before? I think I might have. I will fillet you like a fish. Yeah, I will fillet you. I mean, they have the Atlantic salmon on the East Coast, Annie. But can you not source it wild? Is that the issue you're having? It's all farmed. Wow. I am sorry to hear that, man. Yeah, I would say then the Alaska stuff is probably your best choice. Boom. That looks so beautiful. Okay, I'm getting this board out of here. One sec. The Santoku. Yep. Yep, that's the one I use the most. That's the one. And that is some happy fishes. Yeah, farm-raised fish, once you have the real thing, farm-raised does not taste very good. Yeah, who needs to cook that? To be honest, this is probably such good sashimi. Just eat the brains. That's all you want, Annie? Okay, let's check out this puff pastry. I'm gonna put that salmon back in the fridge. Keep it nice and cool. So now this should be easier for us to prep the rest of the stuff because we know we have to make 8 portions out of everything. And we're not gonna season the salmon until right before we wrap it. We don't wanna draw any moisture out ahead of time. Yeah, Annie's a zombie. Ah! Watch out, world. I don't think I've used these ones yet. So 2 rolled puff pastry sheets. So I mean, important part here is that they thaw enough so we can unroll it. And then we might have to roll it just a bit thinner. We'll see. It doesn't say whether we have to re-roll it out or not. Puff pastry day, eh? Hey Sporks, how are you? I suppose it is puff pastry day. Why, are you making something too? So much plastic. Ah. Okay, I'm just going to put those onto a sheet pan. I think they'll defrost faster if they're not still together in the boxes, that's for sure. Been in the orchard all day? No puff pastry plans yourself. Fair enough. What were you doing in the orchard? That sounds fun. Grandparents' Day. So what happens then, Annie? Spread them out too. They'll thaw faster. A little bit of late season pruning action. Yes, that's perfect. That's what you want to do, right? There's a reception in the morning, then they visit classes with their grandkids. Sounds fun. I don't think we ever did that. All right, so for our Wellington, we portioned our salmon, defrosting the pastry. Next up, our mushroom duxelle cream. You ready to see these mushies, guys? Fresh ones just came in today with Zach. This is our box of shroomies. Look at all the chanterelles. It was a good one today. You guys like my washed reusable Ziplocs? Washed so many today. Beautiful box of flavor. That's what I thought. So because we're making a duxelle, definitely take out some of the not so nice mushrooms because we're gonna be chopping it up nice and fine and mixing it into a cream. So once again, we can like hide a little bit of imperfections. All right, guys, basic mushroom cleaning. We want our bowl of water. To rinse them. Like lukewarm water is good. If you can stand the colder stuff, I would do that. It'll just preserve your mushrooms better. Guys, it's only 4:30 here and it seriously feels like 7 p.m. already. Yeah, is it 7 p.m.? You're loving the mushroom box. I also am. This is a white shanty. It's not the prettiest, but I think it will be great. So we'll put that in too.
You said it wasn't the greatest.
Yep.
Hello?
You went to Lowe's today. Realized you forgot your wallet, went back home, couldn't find your wallet. It was on the front seat of your car underneath a box. No! The whole time. Bless me, yeah, for not being a poncy French chef that demands I brush each mushroom dry. It's pretty crazy. I mean, these mushrooms are used to being outside in wet conditions, so they can really withstand it without starting to fall apart quickly. I usually don't fill the bowl up too much to start so that it doesn't absorb too much water. And chanterelles clean off pretty easily. Just get all the pine needles off and whatever dirt might be on there, but they're pretty clean to begin with. Nothing really sticks to them too much. I'm just putting them onto a plate with a towel beside me to dry them off a bit. Did you leave your wallet in the apple trees today? Oh no, Sporks. Sammy's famous for losing his wallet as well, so you guys shouldn't feel bad. Yeah, brush is made from Sammy's beard hairs. Hilarious. Yeah, this white shanty. I'm not gonna keep it. It's just a bit too soft for my liking, sad to say. But hopefully it inoculates in our yard when I throw it over the fence right now. Hopefully, guys. Hey, Renos, how are you? Your mom stole your wallet from you when you were a kid as a lesson? What? Yeah, you never lost your wallet after that. That's one way to do it. Yeah, that's good news, Sporks. As long as it couldn't have gone too far. Anyone get up to like anything fun on the weekend, or is everyone just lounging out before the madness of Thanksgiving this upcoming week? Spend lots of time with your wife this weekend. That's nice, Bune. Sammy and I have been definitely taking a little bit of time to relax. It was my grandma's birthday yesterday, so we went and had lunch with her. My parents picked up a platter for 4 at the local barbecue spot and brought it to grandma's place, and we all had barbecue together. It was pretty fun. You know who has remarkably good all butter puff superstores? Yes, I know, right? President's Choice. So good. So that's what I've used in the past, Sporks. And this time I have the tender flake stuff. So we'll see what's actually better. But I really did enjoy the Superstore stuff last time I used it. I was like, this is amazing. Yeah, taste test time. Oh yeah, your coffee house. Did it go well, Annie? Everything went well? You're in cider mode all week with the last bits of harvest. Drink extra for the Americans on Thursday. Yeah. What type of apples do you have, Sporks? Scrump, that's a very clean wallet. Yeah, finding it in the dryer, you're like, well, that definitely has gone through the wash. Money laundering. Vune, that's so good. Very creative. Okay, and then the rest of the mushrooms in the box are the winter chanterelles, or also called trumpet mushrooms. They're really nice as well, but they're just a bit too delicate to use in the Wellington. Is they have a higher water content and will just go too mushy. We don't want to make our wellies wet in the middle, because then you're gonna have soggy pastry, not puffed crisp pastry. Check those nice guys out. Really nice, I have to say. I am happy with those. Your orchard was a freebie when you bought the land. It had been left fallow for decades, hence all the pruning. Yep. Varieties are lost to time, but when you've mixed them all, they've made a respectable cider. Awesome. The golden color. I was shocked that Zach found these. He is slowly mapping out his land. He's making a mushroom map, you guys, because every time you take a photo, it maps the location of where the photo was taken. So he's made an album of all these mushroom photos so that when he walks his land, he knows exactly where all the different varieties grow. So we've got 6 now, 6 different varieties from his spot. We're getting better. For the first year, I think we've done very well. All right, so mushroom duxelle, basically a mushroom paste. Groceries. I think I need to open the door.
I got the grocery needs.
Is that all there is?
This is all there is.
Nice.
Your dad's up loose on the stand. Holy.
Nice.
They look good.
Mushrooms grow like crazy, yeah, because of our rainforest climate and all the different elevations. Hey. We are doing a show here, Sammy.
I know, I thought you'd show them all the stuff that we get.
Okay.
And then I help put it away.
Ah! Attack. We got oranges and bananas. Is this Orange Julius?
What?
We got oranges and bananas. 'Tis citrus season. Guys, the food order's here. Everyone stop what you're doing and put it away. But we're cooking food for customers. Oh, it doesn't matter. We gotta put the food away first. Ah, it's actually happening at home too. Okay, here's our beets that we needed. That's great. And the tarragon. I wanted to put some tarragon in this, as well as our leek with the mushrooms. Local oranges, def's not. I'm gonna say those are definitely from California. Yeah, I detect a protein drink.
Hey, vegan gelato.
How's it going, Jones? Oranges are tropical. We can grow lemon and lime trees here, like inside half the year and then outside for half the year. I know that we can do that, but I don't know about oranges. We can also do pineapple inside, as well as kiwi is a thing that grows wild here. Pretty cool. Yeah, the leek is leaking. Ah! Cookie, been playing Star Wars all day. Oh, sounds familiar. This guy right here. It's such a good game though. It looks so good. And we got our radishes for the salad that we need. This is perfect, guys. Just perfect. Yeah, BRB Vune, going to play Star Wars. It's fun and frustrating at times. What do you think, Sammy?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
What difficulty are you playing? I got you both in the parsley.
Thank you.
Did you need radish out?
Yep. Can we put the parsley into this bag? You like unwrap them with the tie? No, please.
No.
Sam,
I think we're shooting.
he's being bad, guys.
Nope.
Not following directions. The citrus wasteland that is Eastern Canada. Come on, global warming. Yeah, we need Meyer lemons. Come on. Okay, I'm grabbing a shallot from over here. Do a nice big one. So mushroom duxelle, basically a mushroom paste that is very, very flavorful. So cook it with like some sort of onion or garlic. Definitely gonna grab some garlic from the fridge for that. Herbs, leek. Definitely add some wine into there. And I'm making mine more creamy to go with the salmon, so that's up to you. I think I'll do a mix of like cream cheese, so something that will hold together, and whipping cream. So it's not too loose. You've seen the ending. We're in for some crazy stuff. It is a cool game to watch. PUBG Global Finals. Sounds good, Annie. Hope you enjoy. I'm sure that's pretty exciting to watch.
I can't play right now because Caitlin's streaming. But when she's done streaming, we go back and play. So we're playing some Horizon 4.
So a shallot, good amount of garlic. I will do the leek actually with the spinach, I think. I think that'll be good. Sammy's feeding me snacks. No, Hoju, don't do it. Ooh, that's sour. Okay, so herbs. I love tarragon with mushroom. I don't know about you guys. And then I thought it'd be really good with salmon too. And we don't need a lot to get the flavor from it, so just be careful. And then definitely want to do some thyme. And I think that's it for the mushroom. And then we'll use the nice fresher herbs on our salad later. I don't want to go with anything too strong like rosemary. But thyme and salmon is really good combination together. I think someone's cooking pizza. Smells like pizza outside. Just checking our puff sheets. They're thawing nicely. It's warming already in Texas. In 30 years, you've gone from about 8 to 30 days of summer, over 100 F on average. Wow. Yeah, Sam could not live in Texas either. Way too warm for him. You know what? I was thinking that, Sporks. I was like, I'm not growing tarragon, and I really need to because I know I would use it a lot. So one herb your cats don't attempt to eat out of the pots. Definitely not French cats. Yeah, nope. All right. So we'll put the shallot and garlic together. We're not blending a duxelle. So a duxelle, everything is chopped really fine. So this is a good spot to practice our knife skills. So it is important to mince the garlic, because like I said, we're not gonna blend this after. Everything just gets mixed together and cooked down. Other thing important for a duxelle is to make sure we cook the moisture out as much as possible. So there will be a point where the moisture gets drawn out from the mushrooms, and then where you want to reduce that to make a stronger flavor in it. So let's smash our garlic. We'll pass that just through the garlic press when it comes time to cook it. And then the shallots we're gonna chop nice and fine. This I'll just cut so it fits in the garlic press later on. Large garlic. Peel our shallot. Okay, sounds good, Annie. I'll definitely be here still. You have fun watching your games. It'll be tricky to find the starts now, but come spring I'll be able to get them. Yeah, I'm hoping so at least. Might be able to find the seeds from the farm here. These shallots are so strong, holy smokes. There we go. Now we're split in half. Okay, don't get the Russian ornamental seeds. That is good to know. I mean, the same thing happens with thyme and rosemary too, though, I think, right? There's some ornamental varieties that people get by accident. Oh, the seeds won't work? What? Interesting. Okay, well, I will be on the search for those come springtime then. All right, so cutting our shallots as fine as possible. Trying not to cry. Shanties, hey chef, how's it going? I'm trying not to cry right now. I'm just so happy. Just grabbing a Kleenex, just in case. Hi Elrad, how's it going? Yeah, how did nature evolve that wacky system for tarragon? Well, you taught me something new today, Sporks. Charlotte's a war criminal. I mean, it is good though, crying when you chop onion things. Clears out your sinuses. Whether you like it or not. It's like, I didn't volunteer for this.
Aw, dear.
Yeah,
I came back.
it's rough.
I came back for you. It's okay. I think you found turkey tail.
What? Look at this one, guys. Look what Zach found. Is that a turkey tail mushroom? He found a tree with a bunch of those on it.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, dispense justice.
I'm here.
Vyun, you do need to go to sleep. Keep your schedule on point. All right, put those in together. So there's that one bit of aromatic, shallot and garlic. Next up, moving into our herbs. Rosemary will work from seed, but it's a royal pain in the arse. Softwood cuttings there. Oddly, Walmart of all places had tarragon starts. Okay, I'm gonna keep that in mind then. Oh, you used to go when you were younger, chef? That's awesome. What type of mushrooms would you guys find? I just started this year, and to be honest, I haven't gone out too many times. A lot of the mushrooms I do get to use is our friend picks on his property and is not confident to process them, so we have a little trade going on. Good night, Vyun. Take care of yourself, and we'll see you tomorrow. Be back streaming tomorrow. You were too young to remember, but you do remember it was fun walking through the woods. Definitely. That had to be fun as a kid. Okay, tarragon, we'll just pick the leaves off. You don't know enough about the species now to take your kids, but you guess you could get a book. Yeah, that's the old, like, that's how we learned. Just bought a couple of books that were like native to around our area. There's also a mushroom picking Facebook group for our area, so that could be something to look into. A lot of people go picking together if it's their first time. It's pretty big out here, I will say that. And there's a lot to learn. I think there's 16 different varieties that we can eat out here. Okay, some nice fresh herbs, our tarragon and thyme. Now, our shrooms should be nicely dried off. We can chop those up. Remember, when we cook our mushrooms, they are gonna shrink a little bit. So don't cut them as small as the rest of the ingredients going into the duxelle. I'm going to be right back, guys. Just gonna blow my nose because it's running. The shallot made me cry.
I said, empty your mind. Be formless, shapeless, like water. Now you put water into a cup, it becomes the cup. You put water into a bottle, it becomes the bottle. You put it in a teapot, it becomes the teapot. Now water can flow or it can crash. Be water, my friend.
Okay, back and fresh. Yeah, mushroom people are good people. I will say that. You learn from walking with a local mad shroom lord for a reason. Exactly. Because they know their stuff. This is what I'm gonna do. Just take these off of here now. Take the cloth away, and then I'll just put them back onto that plate. I'm trying to save dishes at the same time. Yeah, always bringing scones and a tea on field days. Just a little treat, right? Okay, these thinner stemmed ones, try and rip them in half-ish. Bigger guys, cut them like that. This is gonna be really nice, I think. And these are not gonna take very long to cook at all. So everything we do for the duxelle, the pan's gotta be very hot. Okay, I'm gonna start chopping these up. Thanks, Cookie. Yeah, they are really nice. Zach just brought them over today with a couple of trumpet mushrooms as well. We traded him some mushrooms for some hot dogs for lunch. That's a pretty good trade. Hey, I'll trade you some chanterelle mushrooms for hot dogs. Yeah, but he's also getting a couple of these Wellingtons too. Don't worry, guys. Sam and I like blowing his mind. Anyone in here ever had salmon en croute before? Or maybe you've had beef Wellington. Mushroom season, I think it's getting pretty close to being done. Basically, as soon as it starts kind of freezing consistently here. The shrooms have a hard time surviving that. They can withstand the rain, but they can't withstand too much cold, as they'll just freeze and go mush.
Zach's been finding false morels.
False morels, what?
He showed me some photos. I was like, yeah, that's definitely a false morel. That looks good.
Bye, Sporks. Thanks for hanging out, man. Yeah, you go clean yourself up. Sounds like you had a long day in the orchard. Thanks for having confidence in my duck cell. Yeah, I guess it's already 9 p.m. there for some of you. This is a late one. Boom. That'll be a good amount of duck cell. Have you ever made tortillere? Yep. I've made tortillere. We've been making it in my family since before I was born. It's my grandpa's recipe. Your wife wants you to make it. Saw pictures and sounds amazing. Yeah, I can give you our family recipe. We do a mixture of beef and pork. Sam doesn't like it, but I like it. Probably because I grew up with it. It's a French meat pie. Yeah, when I was younger, I mean, all of the aunts would get together one weekend before Christmas. I'm pretty sure they would make like 60 pies to give out to all the families. And then that is our tradition on Christmas Eve, was to put the pie in the oven when you went to church. And then either eat it with cranberry sauce or like ketchup or hot sauce. Look at those shroomies. All right, how's our list? So next up is our mushroom duxelle cream. I'm gonna get the pan on for this, get it heating up. I'll use a mixture of olive oil and butter, I think. Just thinking of what else we're cooking today. I'm gonna use the big pan. Oh, and we might be able to start unwrapping our puff as well. Okay, Cookie, I'm writing that down so I don't forget to send it to you. I think I already have it typed up. I can send it to you in PDF or just post it in the Discord. All right, that. Get some butter. I don't think we need this lid, guys. I don't even think we need this cutting board. Okay, slice off a little nub of butter for later. But first we are going to saute the garlic and shallot just with the olive oil. And then once we add the mushrooms to the pan, we can add the butter. Do like about 1.5 tablespoons, I think, is a good amount. Okay, let's check out our puff. Nice. So we're starting to be able to unroll it. This is really good, guys. Didn't take that long. But we don't want it to crack, so we're just gonna unroll a little bit at a time. And I think we should be able to do 4 pieces of salmon for these 4 sheets of paste, or sorry, 8 pieces of salmon in those 4 sheets. So you need some for the top and the bottom. Okay, after this, we're gonna steam the beets. So why don't we get our pot going and heating for that. I'm just gonna do it in a steamer pot. Really, really simple. I'd rather not boil them in water because I find that takes out a lot of the flavoring and coloring. So steaming them, not in the water, just gonna give a little bit of a different cook. It's puff pastry scrump. Puff pastry bought frozen from the store. So that's one of those things that I will cheat with. Important thing for our steamer pot is we just don't want the water to come up through the steamer basket. So we don't want that to touch what's cooking there. So obviously we have a bit too much. A touch too much. Okay. There we go, that's better. Puff pastry versus phyllo dough. So puff pastry is a dough that has butter layered in between and it's kind of trapped in there. Takes 2 days to make this. There's almost 100 folds usually in proper puff pastry. Whereas phyllo dough is just the dough and then you layer it and brush butter in between the layers, which that's what they use for baklava and spanakopita, stuff like that. Let's go over to the stovetop, guys. We're cooking our duxelle. So first thing going in here is our shallot, and then I'll mince our garlic in. We want our oil to be hot, but not too hot. We don't want this stuff to brown too quickly. Remember, we're trying to cook some of the moisture out first. Smells good already. Start pressing our garlic in. So obviously we're making enough duxelle to make 8 portions of the salmon en croute. And each little portion of the salmon, probably gonna get a couple tablespoons of this underneath in the pastry. Okay, now that can go back on. Gonna grab some white wine as well. Definitely need that in duxelle. Huh? You saying something? Okay. Sammy wasn't saying nothing, guys. Just spread this all out to one nice even layer. And holy, when the garlic starts sizzling like that, such a good smell. Hey Nike, how are you today? You had to work, how was it? Do I use global knives? I have used them. I don't have any of my own, but I don't mind them as a knife. Are you thinking of getting one, Samovar? Give this a stir. Okay, I'm adding our butter. Let that start melting and heating up, and then we can add our mushrooms. Your Pat's beef beat the wife's Cowboys. Oh no! Hey Skybox! Honestly, it's not super late. It's 5:23 here. It just feels so late because of the time change. I wish it didn't. But yeah, usually on Sundays I cook a little bit earlier, hey? Oh ho ho, yeah. That's some happiness in this pan. Yeah, F yeah. Okay, I'm getting our beets going. This is a steamer pot, so it's just filled with water underneath. Okay, herbs are going into here. And so are the mushrooms. So nice golden chanterelles. I'm also going to crank the heat now. Turn it up. Yeah, beets are so easy to cook, hey? There's a lot of different ways you can cook them as well. Holy, this smells so good. Tarragon and mushrooms, I'm telling ya. That is a happy combination. So this is gonna take a couple minutes to cook down. The mushrooms are gonna release their liquid, and then we'll start to reduce that liquid, and that's when we get a little bit of color on the mushrooms as well. So that's gonna cook for definitely a few minutes. You can't have beets, really? Are they just too sugary for your diet? Too many carbs, probably. That's what I would say. Oh yeah. All right, a couple of cracks of pepper. Why isn't this thing working? Guys, I think we need a new pepper mill. Nothing's coming out. And I just filled it. Das heck. Okay, just a little bit of salt as these cook, because remember, it is going to reduce. So you don't want to make it too salty. Because look at all that flavor in there that's come out of the mushrooms. Oh yeah. Yeah, corn is a bad one too. Corn and beets. Two very sweet vegetables, I guess. Yes, Salmon.
Steaming the beets?
Yep.
Beets are delicious.
It's tasting good.
Tasting good.
Oh, it's okay, Nike. Don't feel bad about missing this stream. I'll always say that to you guys. We all have lives. Different stuff going on.
It is indeed turkey tail.
Really?
Yep.
Nice. Okay, it looks like our mushrooms are starting to reduce the liquid. Yeah. Okay, this is where we add our touch of wine for some nice sweetness and acidity. Definitely want to go with white wine with the salmon today. And then that reduces one more time. And then I'll stir in a little bit of cream and cream cheese. Yum. Yeah, life always prevails. I think I might just do cream cheese. Filet. Yeah, adulting. What is this? It's a trap. That's what. It's a trap. I'm gonna turn this heat down now.
I don't have kids, but I have a piano.
Yeah. Who needs kids when you have a piano? Dropping a couple spoonfuls in. Obviously using a thicker cream here so that it stays together in the Wellington. I think this will be good. At least a good start to get it mixing in and melting. Oh yeah. Holy, you guys. My belly's so excited. Don't worry, guys. Just shaking my head at Sammy.
There's olive there for you.
Thank you.
They're tasty stuff.
Tasty olives. Okay, this is looking like it's almost melted. And then we just have to wait for it to cool off a bit. I would recommend, if you need to cool it off quicker, is taking it out of the pan. Just want to make sure it's really nice and smooth. Also, we got to season it still. We got to taste it and season it. So obviously we're good to turn the heat off. Let's see how we did. You're diabetic, so a corn serving is 1/3 of a cup. Yeah, you don't get very much, hey? Okay, definitely need some salt. I'm gonna get that off the burner because, as you can see, if we leave it much longer, the fat can separate out of it. Definitely don't want that to happen. Too much heat with cream cheese is not a good thing. Pinch or two of salt. One more mix and then I'll taste it again. I am happy with that.
Oh yeah. What do you think? This is what the turkey tail looks like.
Yeah.
This is what I have. Just waiting for it to open up a little. No, it's the right.
I
pour.
think it
Yeah,
is.
it's the right pores.
Okay, one other thing we need to prep before we carry on any further is just some egg wash. I'll be right back, guys. I just have to go grab an egg from the other side. And if we pop over here, just still thawing out the pastry. I just put a damp towel over it because it looked like the sheets were drying out a bit. Don't want the sheets to dry out because then they can crack. So now I'm able to fully unroll it. Now we can start stuffing and making the en croute or Wellington, whatever you want to call it. We're ready. So once again, all of the prep is the hard part, and then it just gets baked. That's the easy part. I'm hoping that we can do 8 out of this. We'll see. Actually, I'll do this. And then we just have to season our salmon as well. The doggo. We got the doggo in here. Check out those beautiful pieces. Okay. Let's do like a fake measurement. 4. I think it had the parchment. Can we do 4? I think we can make it work, guys. We can make it work. Feeling okay about it. Ooh, and our beets just came up to a simmer. This is awesome. All right. Sounds good, Cookie. So important that our mushroom duxelle is seasoned nicely, as well as our salmon being seasoned properly. Thank you, Sammy. And because these pieces of salmon are so thick.
Are you adding these ones in later?
No, those are extra.
You want to just do them all off?
If you want, they are just smaller compared to the other ends. This is where you can use maybe a little bit more of a fancy salt too, maybe something that's infused or flavored with some herbs. But I think the flavor from our mushroom duxelle is perfect for this. So we're going more simple. What are you doing? What are you doing?
Nothing.
What is he doing? Nike, what's Sam up to? Okay, we just have to make a little egg wash.
Can I crack the egg?
God, it's too late.
Just be like,
Probably.
yeah, 4 arms.
Yeah.
Just keep on talking and I can crack the egg behind it.
Yeah. So we want the egg yolk and just a little bit of water whisked together. And then that's how we stick the puff pastry sheets together. And then they also get the egg wash on top. Very important.
So the orange ones I showed you are fake tiger tails.
Oh.
Sorry, turkey tails.
So we just loosen this up with enough either water or milk to make it brushable on the pastry. And then also we want enough to make the 8 portions. All right, so egg wash is here. This should be the fun part, guys. Just organizing a little bit. Because this is somewhat of an assembly line setup here for the Wellingtons. If you don't organize yourself, it will take you obviously a lot longer. Hold on for like 30 seconds, guys. Welcome back, Annie.
Oh, yeah.
One of the best I've ever tried.
No time off. Resubscribing for 13 months. Sorry I was away while you did that.
13 months.
Nice. FaZe won the first match. All right. So assembling our Wellingtons. We need our first layer for the bottom, obviously. I don't think we should try and roll that out anymore. And then the other thing, I think we should portion it before we add anything onto the puff pastry. So let's do our mock 4 pieces. Just cut that with a paring knife. See how the pastry kind of wants to stick together. I'm gonna separate the pieces. And we're gonna do squares, obviously. The fish is cut into squares, so that is how we are going to do our stuff. So first thing is we want to put our mushroom mixture down on the bottom, and then the salmon goes on top. Yeah, it's inspired from a Ramsay dish for sure. He calls his on Croute, and I think he uses a little bit of a different pastry. compared to the puff pastry that I'm using, but he does a very similar filling as well. It's really good. And I also believe that he does the whole fillet at one time rather than doing individual pieces. Okay, so be sure to split your mushroom duxelle into 8 portions as we are building. Just a couple of tablespoons worth is more than enough. Put a little bit more there. A little bit more on that one, and then we just want to spread it out a little bit. Keep it away from the edges as much as possible. That one had quite a bit. We want our edges clean just so it gets a nice seal on it, and therefore none of this is going to cook out in the oven. They're like big raviolis. Yeah, pretty much. Definitely looks similar to that. I'm just hoping that the pastry can fit over the size of these fillets, because they're quite fat. It's kind of all I'm worried about right now. They are huge, yeah. It was a really big salmon that I caught. There is another piece of pastry that goes on top. Exactly. It's right here. I just have to cut it into 4. But first, brush our egg wash around the edges. There we go. Yeah, there's no way, if there was not this other pastry going on it, there's no way that we would get it around. It's true. Cut a bigger piece if it isn't enough. Yep. Take a bath in eggs. Oh no, I don't even want to imagine that. That does not sound good, Annie. We might have to stretch that out just a touch. I think we have to wrap the bottom up first and then tuck. But then how are we going to stick it to itself? What do you think, Sammy? Or wrap the bottom up over the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Press down as much as you can. Give a little more to the back side because you don't need as much in the front. There you go. Then you should be able to cover that, no problem.
We're making little packages. I don't know how much I like the look of this. But sometimes you just gotta make do with what you got. Actually, I don't really mind the kind of triangular corners that we get from this. Okay, definitely don't want to lose our duck cell. Tuck that in. See what I mean when I say it's important to have everything cold? Because once you start working with it, she wants to fall apart. Stay. Obviously the first one, not the best. But as we keep doing them, they should get better. I'm gonna put this other pastry into the fridge just because I think it is gonna be a bit difficult to work with if we don't do that. And then let's get a sheet pan set up with a silicone mat or a parchment sheet where we can put these once they are done. Don't really want that to stick to my hands, but let's just be gentle. Eee! Oh goodness. Looks like a Christmas gift. I'm scared to roll the top a bit more, Annie. I don't want to make it too thin that it rips. But I am stretching it a touch. Just like a little bit. Try and combat that. Might have to trim off this excess. That could be our issue as well. Should be able to get it a little bit more neat. Here's our scissors. What? Welcome in, Lotus Wings. How was your stream? Adrainus, welcome. What did you guys do on stream today? Thanks so much for the raid. And then, guys, should we cut the corners like this? That's looking prettier. Lotus is still at work cooking, but he sends his crew. Amazing. Well, welcome in, guys. What is Lotus cooking? It almost is like wrapping it into a present. Definitely works better like that. I don't feel like everything's gonna fall apart. That's better, hey guys? Way better. He runs a dual walk station at a franchise restaurant in Texas. Very cool. That sounds like fun. I've never cooked a walk station before. Okay, just a sec, guys. I want to check these beets. Thank you for the follow. Not ready yet. Jeanette as well. Thank you. Welcome in, guys. Okay, these ones are really, really thick. Gonna be honest right now, guys. My stomach, not super happy right now. And the only thing I ate different today was we tried some sausage rolls from a local bakery here. I don't know if that was good for me. I don't know. Now I'm worried. That could be bad. Sounds good, Annie. I'll stick through it with you guys. Should be okay. Just try and drink a bunch of water. Stomach problems are terrible, especially when you're trying to cook stuff. Maybe you just need to poop. Maybe, man. Sometimes that's the case, right? I remember when my mom would ask that when you were young. My stomach hurts. Well, did you poop? Sometimes that helped. It's a fair question. But maybe something we shouldn't talk about while we're prepping food. Okay, these are starting to look quite nice, I think. Way happier with that compared to the first one. Nike. I know you're kidding. I'm just trying not to die right now, to be honest. Picking up the turkey on Tuesday morning, doing a dry brine for 2 days. Got to figure out how long it's going to take to cook. Yep, depends on the size. Do you know how big it is yet? You know what, Fresh Life? Let's hope so. Let's hope so. I mean, they tasted really good. Okay, make our little slits in the corners. Tuck everything in. Oh, you're just doing turkey breast? Trying to be more healthy, Nike? Anywhere from 16 to 18 pounds? That's pretty good size. I think the one that we cooked for our Canadian Thanksgiving, it was just over 15 to fit it on the smoker. That was like the max size. If we would have gotten a 17-pound one, it would definitely would not have fit. Okay, just gonna do a touch of egg wash on this end. You just got through a vegetable day? Like all you ate was vegetables? Okay, that's 4 wellies, guys. It's 6 o'clock. I think we're gonna stop preparing the Wellingtons at this point. Maybe we're baking 4. Let me ask Sam. How many Wellingtons am I baking off?
4.
Okay.
2 for today, 2 for 4 hours.
Yeah. That was the plan. Just spread those out a bit more so they bake more even. So those have to go to chill now. And actually, before we even do that, we'll finish brushing them with the egg wash, just so everything holds together. But we need to work on our radish salad as well as our creamed spinach. Is your stomach okay? Because mine doesn't feel good at all.
Doesn't feel good. Like what?
It's just like sore. I think it's the sausage roll. It's rough, guys. I'm telling Sam the stomach issues. Hey, Faded, how are you? Happy Sunday. So the egg wash is gonna make a really nice shiny glaze when we go to bake this. It helps the pastry get color and it goes shiny. Also, like I said, it helps keep everything together. This is called egg wash. Yeah, I just mixed an egg yolk with a little bit of water. You can also do milk. Here's the other thing that I'm thinking of, guys, is I did have like a lot of bread or gluten today. I always had a hunch that maybe like crappy white bread was not something easy for me to digest. Struggle's real. Okay, there we go. So that is gonna go into the fridge. These have to chill before we bake them. All right, all right. One more check on our beets. They're looking really nice in the steamer. So they were getting close before. Just poke a paring knife through. It should go through very easily. So I don't think we're there quite yet. I am gonna guesstimate though, maybe 5 more minutes, and then we can let that cool off in the pot. So why don't we set a timer, and we won't lose track of time. You have 3 weeks left till a 4-week vacation. That sounds amazing. Okay, so we seasoned our salmon, it's wrapped and it's chilling. So the beets, we're steaming those. So we need some citrus zest and juice to finish off our beets, as well as some honey. Do orange and a little bit of lemon. I think that would be good with the beets as well as the salmon. So we always zest our citrus before we juice it. Definitely want more orange zest than lemon zest though, because we're going with a little bit of lemon in our radish salad as well. Oh yeah, Italy. So much good food there. Definitely don't want to overdo it on the zest, so about half an orange. And just a little bit of the lemon zest. Perfect. I'm just gonna go with the orange juice. And I think half of this orange juice is perfect. I don't think we need to go any more than that. Yum. Okay, that's ready. Put that over with the honey by the beets. Okay, our radishes. So we're gonna shave our radish. Just have nice French radishes. Thought this would be a good crunchy contrast and texture to add to our dish. That's good. Is there 3 left? Okay, we'll do them all. Is it far into the stream? Not super far. We're about halfway right now as we just finished doing the salmon Wellingtons, as we just finished wrapping them. And now we are prepping our side dishes before we bake the salmon. Hey Scat, how's it going? Happy Sunday. Okay, so trim up our radishes, tip and top, and then we can give them a little rinse, make sure they're nice and clean. That's our 5-minute timer on the beets. I'll just shut that off. And then once those are cooled to the touch, then we can peel them up. Peel them, cut them, and then all we have to do is glaze them. Yeah, you're not too late, that's for sure. You're not too late in the stream. Everyone's having a good weekend though. Just staying warm. What do we think? Mandolin? I think that could be fun. That way all of the radishes are the same thickness. Let's see. the thinner one. Okay, put our glove on. Oh, you were graced with the first winter snow. It is beautiful when it snows, isn't it? Okay, stomach has taken a turn. We're good again. The low-key spiciness, yeah. I really like it with fish. Like fish and radish, so good. And then Doggo loves to snack on radish, so we'll keep all the ends for her. Maybe she'll come back and visit us at some point tonight. These are really juicy. Holy smokes. They're like pristine. I know Sammy doesn't love radishes like us, so we won't make a ton of this salad. Just enough for a little crunch on this side. And yeah, I think the low-key spiciness of this radish will be good to cut all the richness from our salmon. That's probably good, to be honest. Probably enough. Okay, there's that. Just rinse this. Okay, we need a little bowl. And then I think it's actually almost time for us to turn on the oven, because I think we can make the spinach cream while the Wellingtons are baking. Won't take us very long. That way we still have something to do. It was pretty chill. Yesterday we drove into the city. It was my grandma's birthday, so we spent the afternoon with them. Had some barbecue for lunch. It was good. We just brought it to their house so we could all relax together. And then today, a little bit of putzing around, doing some housework. I submitted 3 recipes to our Team Bonin holiday cookbook for our St. Jude fundraiser. So my recipes are for sure in that book now. So anyone who clicked that reward for a $20 donation, you're gonna get to see 3 of my recipes in there. I did the coconut, squash, and ginger soup, brie mashed potatoes, and citrus cranberry sauce. Those are some of my favorite holiday recipes. Okay, so for our radish salad, I thought dressing it with some lemon and olive oil, and then just chopping up some basil and dill to go into here, keeping it really nice and fresh to go along with the salmon. all of the herbies wrapped up. Black anti-venom, welcome in. How are you? Holy, this is a lot of basil. Let's do that and that. Just chilling for the night. Sounds wonderful. Okay, we want to pick the herbs off the stem and then give them a nice fine chop. Hey, Paulsh. How are you, man? How's your weekend? Your herbies are wrapped up, Nike. It's how they're supposed to be. Okay, let's make our little roll. Our basil spliff. And then do nice thin slices. And then we can chop it nice and fine. Def's got to pick them off the stem, man. Just worked out, nice. Got some homemade pizza, garlic fingers made. Also picked up your order of handmade soap for some Christmas gifts. Sounds lovely, Paulsh. Sounds really nice, man. Soap is always a good gift. Especially when it's handmade. Some of the smells, oh man, so nice. Thank you very much, Anti-Venom. I appreciate those kind words. Nike. They all smell good, Polish. Yeah, it's hard. You're like, maybe no one's getting gifts. Well, I mean, you definitely should give yourself one, Polish. Scat, I love that you say that you were supposed to work out and cook today. I'm gonna guess that went out the window. I think I have half a lemon in the fridge still to use up. Yes. Oh, you bought 10 different ones? Only 3 or 4 gifts. Well, perfect then. Okay, that, some olive oil. Wanted to get this salad dressed just a little bit earlier on so it had some time to marinate. And then we'll notice that the acid will draw out some of the color of the radish as well. Some salt. Hot pepper rings on garlic fingers, like the banana peppers. I could see that being delish. They're like sweet and spicy and tangy. Let's taste. Ooh-wee. That is really lemony. Okay, I'm gonna try and add just a bit of this orange juice for some sweetness. Because I don't want to add sugar if I don't have to. Keep it nice and natural. Bit more salt. Then I'm gonna cheat and just add a touch of honey. If we can get anything out of this bear. Come on. 1 drop. You're gonna eat an entire jar of banana peppers? If you're not careful, be careful, Nike. That cannot be okay the next day. All right. I'm liking how that's tasting right now. I think we should let that marinate and then we can come back to it and see if it needs anything else before we serve. But the flavor could change in the next little bit of time. Hey Nike, there's worse addictions to have. Just saying. Okay, I'm turning our oven on to bake. So I want to do the Wellingtons at 375 Fahrenheit. Bring these beets over. Actually, I think just take them out of the pot. Do that. Just keep them in the steamer basket. Those look so dark. And then check out the steam water underneath. It looks like blood almost, hey? It's so red. All right, I'm gonna put some gloves on and start peeling these up. And then I'm just gonna cut them into wedges afterwards. Hey, Humble. Yeah, I can show you what's been done to the salmon already. So we portioned the salmon. We made a mushroom duxelle mixture for the bottom with some cream cheese and golden chanterelles, and then we wrapped it in puff pastry and egg washed it to hold everything together. Thanks, Posh. And if you want a little bit more in-depth explanation, this is inspired from Gordon Ramsay's recipe. So very similar to what he does there. Just, I like to do individual portions instead of one big one. I mean, his is probably more for a big Christmas party, where mine is kind of just meal prep to have ready. Because now once those are wrapped like that, we can refreeze them. And all we have to do is take them out, let them thaw a bit, and bake them. And then those are good to go. So it's better to do the hard work when you have everything out can do just a little bit extra. Bloody hands. Sammy's coming to help, guys. Yeah, where's the lamb sauce? I love that you know what duxelle is, Posh. You've used his recipe once, but used venison, turned out awesome. Yeah, I've used a recipe for the beef as well. Ramsey knows his Wellingtons. Nice beets, hey?
Mm-hmm.
So guys, the oven is heating up now. Oh, careful. I'm gonna guess that the Wellingtons will take around 15 minutes to bake. Maybe even 20, depending on how thick they are, right? There was definitely some bigger pieces. So we're actually almost ready. Sammy's burning his mouth off. He's getting his veggies in. Sam, yeah, he came to help eat. You helped your own roommate cater a wedding once. He made the menu everything hand wrapped stuff, and it was so long prep. Yeah, mini beef Wellingtons. And that's where you learned about duxelle. Holy Polsh. I can't even imagine that.
I can.
Mini beef Wellington. That's some work. Kudos. Did the beets remind you that you had carrot juice? Man, beet juice and carrot juice is really good. It's so hot, hot, hot. It's really hot.
Mm-hmm.
My stomach's okay now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was just a toot, guys.
Yeah.
The beats of the East. Beat that beat up. Okay. Now we need a cutting board and we can cut this into wedges.
Beats. I rock the funky beats. I rock the funky beats.
He's got beets. Thank you, Sammy.
You're welcome.
Yeah, you beat the beat. Way to go. Congrats. Hottest beats in the West. Chicka, chicka, chicka. What? Me too, Polish. I actually bought these ones. I wasn't sure what was going on in the garden, so I bought these just in case, because I kind of know that they're all really small in the garden.
How long is that?
So Wellington's about 20 minutes
More?
from now.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then we got beets. What else we having?
I made a little bit of radish salad, which you maybe will eat, maybe not. It's dressed with like lemon, dill, and basil.
So I got lettuce and I can make a little Greek salad. And then what else?
Just like a spinach cream.
Oh, okay. Yum.
Okay,
Did you need spinach? Or are you
I think I still have a bag here. These look really nice. Mmm. Those are really good, guys. Really nice and sweet. Not too earthy, because that's when they start to taste like dirty, as some people call them. Beets taste dirty. I think it's only been once that I've actually had a beet taste kind of dirty. And obviously it was just in the ground too long. That's all. I'm gonna use all the baby ones. Baby beets. Bon appetit beet. That looks like enough for Sammy and I. You guys can't even see it, they're so dark. I cut up about half of them. And I'm gonna get a smaller pot out for those. I'm gonna pour a little bit of the beet steaming water into that pot as well. And I'm just gonna cover those with a lid to keep them slightly warm. Go in with our citrus juice and zest. And I'm just gonna rinse my knife off. And then I'm grabbing those salmon Wellingtons, guys, and they are going into the oven. You can't beat it, Nike. You can't beat it. Okay, check those babies out. So like I said, my guesstimation, about 15 minutes. Why don't we do 10 minutes? We'll check them at that point and then adjust the time from there. Yeah, if you can't beat them, carrot them? I don't know. No one knows, Polish. Okay, 10-minute timer. All right, in the meantime, I want to make a little bit of spinach and leek cream as sort of a sauce to go with this. So cut our leek off where it starts to turn very green. That stuff gets tough. Next step, I don't know why this is cut like that, so I'm gonna trim that off because I have no idea where it's been. And then we're gonna cut this in half. And I'm gonna rinse in between all of these layers because usually there's quite a bit of dirt or sand that gets in between. Yeah, you heard Sammy's laugh in the background. We're okay. At least we made somebody laugh. Actually, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. So rinse out the water from the beet steaming pot. And I'm gonna fill it back up with hot water, just halfway, and bring it to a boil. That's gonna be our blanching pot. So we're able to make our spinach cream. So it'll also blanch the leek. And then blanching also preserves the color in green vegetables, so it'll make it a deeper color. Yeah, Black Friday deal leeks. You got them right here. Guys, I'm just happy that my stomach's not hurting anymore. I don't know what the heck. Trouble digesting something, that's for sure. Yeah, the mushrooms, they're killing me. It makes it like crazy green. Yeah, it does. Okay, this is what I got going on the stovetop, guys. So I'm gonna blanch the spinach, and actually I'll throw a handful of parsley in there too. So spinach and parsley gonna go into here. Let's be sure, very important part of blanching is that our water is salted. Let's do that first. The less amount of time your vegetables are in the blanching water, the more salt you will need. Here's our cream for our spinach cream. I am going to kind of tea the leeks in there. So bringing the cream up to a simmer with the leeks in it. I think that'll preserve more of the flavor. And then we're going to reserve the water that we use for blanching just to loosen up the mixture when we go to blend it and make it smooth. Really, I have tunes on. I got tunage polish. It's pretty quiet. At least this song is pretty quiet. Lower left is our pot for our citrus glazed beets. So we have some of the beet juice from steaming them, and then I poured in our orange and lemon juice and the zest. I think it's gonna be good. I haven't cooked more of a fancy meal like this in a while. I think it's gonna be good. Turn that up. So I kind of want to get this reducing and make it a glaze beforehand, and then just toss the beets in at the end since they're already steamed. Thought that would be a good idea. Another thing we can add to the leeks in the cream is just another little touch of white wine, because that's gonna heat up and then cook out. Okay, get our blender ready. Yeah, let's hope that Demi Moore has once upon a time also made a demi glaze. The demi glace. Oh, baby. Those are baking nice. Just starting to smell like pastry in here. Starting to get that kind of flaky butter smell. I would say the salmon should be as cold as possible, Annie. Yeah, the trick to building Wellingtons is keeping all the ingredients as cold as possible. And that way it keeps your pastry cold, because when that starts to warm up, it's really hard to work with. So like when I was portioning my salmon first thing on stream, it was still really frozen. And then obviously as time went on and we prepped the rest of the ingredients, it slowly thawed. Hey DMG. Okay, nice. So we definitely want these leeks to be cooked before we blend them. We don't want to blend raw leeks. And I think I'll just add a pinch of salt to this mixture as well as it's cooking. We don't want that to boil over. So you have to cook it a little longer to make sure the fish is cooked thoroughly. Exactly. So there's a fine line, right? Is you need the pastry to be nice and brown and flaky, but then you also want to make sure that whatever meat you're using in the middle is cooked through, because you can't really see it as it's cooking. So this is where a thermometer will come in handy for sure. Because that was 10 minutes already, and it doesn't look like it's really done too much. Also, the pastry looks kind of funny, so we'll see. Interesting. Okay. I'm gonna do another 8 minutes. Your new emote, nice. With the channel points. Give this a little stir. Definitely smelling good now that the leeks are heating up. Okay, see you soon, Annie. We'll be here. That cream is really tasty already. I think you were on Twitch almost a year before you realized that was a Kappa onion. I love our onion. Okay, I'm gonna pour our cream into our blender container. Use a spatula so we can get everything out of there. And then we're just waiting on blanching our green things, our spinach and parsley, which it looks like our pot's just coming up to a boil. Perfect. So this doesn't take long at all, guys. Couple of seconds. It'll turn really bright green, and then we take it out. Like that. Next up, a couple handfuls of spinach, because that's gonna like wilt down to nothing. Push that into the water. And then we want to make sure that we squeeze out as much liquid as possible before we put it into the blender. Okay, that looks perfect. Really only takes a couple of seconds. And then let's turn that off. I think I'm just gonna hold it over there. Just press it into the strainer. And then into the blender. The parsley, we can put the stem in everything just because we blanched it, so the heat softened it up, hopefully enough that it doesn't get wrapped around. You made a knockoff Eggs Benedict from the cookbook you sent me. Nice, minus the 4 cups of kale because you didn't have any. Use mixed greens, surprisingly tasty with the mock hollandaise. Ooh, mock hollandaise. What makes it mock? That's crazy, Palsh. Okay. A little bit more cream just to loosen this up. And maybe even a little bit of the blanching water. You'll notice right away whether your blender has enough liquid or not. That did not. Parsley stems are trying not to blend. That's why it sounds funny. Let's see. There we go. Had to get them going. Haha. You are gone. Let that go for a little bit, make it nice and smooth. A mayo Dijon, half spoon of water, and some cayenne. Well, that's pretty similar to hollandaise though, other than the butter. Timer for the wellies has gone off. Dijonnaise. Let's check it out. Okay, I'm gonna stick a thermometer through one of these just to see where we're at. I don't think we're quite ready. Looking for like a nice medium cook in there. So it's only at 100 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Just give that tray one more swivel. So medium cook on the salmon would be about 130 Fahrenheit, 135. So I'm gonna do 5 more minute intervals and we're gonna go from there. Check this out, guys. Our cream. Yeah. Oh, oh, the worst. The worst. Okay, let's try this. Spinach and leek cream is where it's at. I'm gonna put a little bit more salt. We'll mix that in. And then that's good to go. So that's gonna go underneath the Wellington to keep it from sliding around on the plate. So that's our sauce to go with the dish. And bring everything together. So after this, let's start making our citrus glaze for our beets. And we are there, guys. Really nice shade of green, hey? I'm happy with that. Okay, let's bring this up. Back on over. Spinach and leek cream. So good. Spinach and leek is a very good combination together. Okay, so what we're gonna do, bring this juice up to a simmer, and then we're gonna reduce it a little bit. So to make a glaze, obviously it needs to be able to coat whatever you're mixing it onto. So we're gonna use a little bit of honey to create that more kind of glaze consistency. Nice shade of green and covered in frost, Nike. Yep, those wellies are starting to look good. Getting the plate out for us, because it is actually almost time to plate up. We're close. About a minute left on our timer again. Already. Okay, sounds good, Nike. I'll be here. This is going almost more pink. Wow, that smells amazing already. Let's add some honey. This honey I'm using is from the bees that we used to have at the brewery in Vancouver. Let this dissolve in. Okay, that should get going again. These wellies though, massive, quite large. Turn that baby up. Gotta peek through the towels, guys. The pastry is starting to brown up now. Looking like the real deal. The peeping Kate. It always makes me feel like such a kid. Wow. That smell. We're gonna drop our beets in, and that way they can also kind of soak up some of the juice. And it'll also make the glaze darker. It's gonna draw out more of the beet color. And the beets didn't get any salt when they were cooking, so now is a good time to add a touch of salt and start seasoning them as they're absorbing these flavors. So red. Serious Christmas food. Yeah, that's true, Palsh. I didn't think about the green and the red together. I always think of beets as being purple, but really they're not. I mean, we don't want to overcook these wedges of beets either, though, so just be aware. It definitely looks like this is reducing. As the bubbles get bigger, that's a good sign. That means we're losing liquid and the sugars are cooking together. Okay, I'm gonna do one more swivel on this tray. And I think we're getting really close, just judging by the color on the wellies. I'm gonna try one of these beets before we serve them. Take that little guy. See how we're doing for seasoning. Pick one of the following: snowberry, saltwater joys, black cherry, pineapple / mulligan moonlight. I love black cherry, Palsh. As you can tell, I like a lot of the dark kind of fruits and vegetables. Mmm. Definitely citrusy. That's so good. Yeah, that's a little bit Christmassy just on its own with the orange. Just a pinch more salt. Definitely get all of those bright flavors. So you know it's a good glaze when it's shiny. So whatever you're glazing, whether it's carrots or beets, should have a nice sheen to them. And you don't want to keep adding sugar because then it's just going to get too sweet. So there's a happy balance that we're looking for. Okay. I think we're going to come over to the cutting board. We're going to get ready. I'm going to temp these wellies one more time. Mulligan Moonlight. It did sound interesting. Yeah, I can't eat it. No, that sounds amazing, Polish. Thank you. I like exchanging gifts. Let's do this. I mean, we can make sure on stream that you can't eat it. We'll test it just to be sure. Be like, yeah, no, definitely don't want to eat this one. Yeah, that's the color. Okay, come on, salmon. Hey, that's exactly what we want. 133. I don't know if you guys are ready for this. Oh, hello there. I'm happy with those. This one wanted to come apart for sure, but this one actually stayed all together. It says to let them sit for a couple of minutes before you dig into them, obviously, because everything is like piping molten hot. And we also don't want to cut into it and lose all of our mushroom filling, just because there is cream cheese in there. So we'll do our nice little plate up while we wait, and then we will taste. Just gonna move this over a touch more so we can get our full plate in here. That's as far as I'm going. Okay, first thing going on a plate is our spinach and leek cream. That's our sauce. And then I think we'll plate the radish salad and then our beets last, just so their color doesn't go everywhere. So the spinach and leek cream, a little bit of a looser type of sauce, but it should spread out really nice under the Wellington. So I'm just gonna put a circle of it right in the middle of the plate, and we'll build everything around that. Here's our radish salad that's been marinating in the fridge. Lemon, olive oil, basil, and some dill. So this is our freshness. You're mailing it tomorrow? You are on it, Polish. I'm gonna do this over here. Ooh. Ooh, ooh. And then I think I want to go with that guy. This one right here is looking real nice for us, especially for a photo. That's a good idea. Yeah, beat the Christmas traffic. Oh, the bottom is so nice and golden brown. See how the salmon kind of makes the sauce spread out like that? What are you making, salmon? Oh. And then our citrus glazed beets. Look at it, Elrad. Look at it. Yeah, I am using tweezers because with a spoon, this is gonna go everywhere. We have like one chance here, guys, with these beets. And with my fingers, it's just gonna make a mess. Ah. Basically, where they drop, that's where they live. What do we think? One more? Cookie! Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you. I think we might need just a little bit more of the green. Just over here. There we go. It needed it. Holy. I mean, the moment of truth really isn't until we cut into this thing and see how we did. I think it's gonna be pretty messy, but delicious. I like how simple this looks. I'm happy with how it turned out. Yeah, let's see. I think this is how it should be plated towards the customer. For some reason, when I turn it this way, it's always better. Yes. All right. Tis time. Pastry is so flaky. Oh yeah. Okay, ready? Yeah.
Nice cook.
There we go. So it's just starting to flake, and then you can see the top, all of the fat's still in there. So we didn't cook all the fat out yet. That is very important. Our mushrooms didn't get cooked out of the pastry. They all stayed in there. All right, just cut off a little bit of a smaller piece that I can fit in my mouth. And we'll have a taste. Holy smokes. Definitely a messy thing to eat, but for good reason. We got the salmon. Green sludge. I don't know if the pastry is better than the President's Choice one that Sporks and I were talking about earlier. Going in for the salmon. Oh, as it's falling everywhere. Mm-hmm. Like, you wouldn't even know that there's mushrooms under there.
That's really
And the
good.
salmon is so nice and mild. The mushrooms and cream kind of just like bake into the pastry and make this delicious layer on the bottom. I really want to try it with quite a bit of this sauce. Okay, this is gonna be a good bite. Mm-hmm. Mushrooms and salmon, guys. Thank you very much, Cookie. Every now and then, though, you get a bite with the really floral flavor from the chanterelles. I hate burning my tongue, Nike. That's not something to joke about. That's why I eat, honestly, that's why I eat so slow at first. It's because I just let my food cool off and then I mow it after. Sammy's happy. I'm really happy. Let's see how our radishes pair with everything. Really nice fresh crunch. A little bit lemony. Those beets though.
Kitchen confidence. He's doing beef Wellington.
Okay, guys. We are going to raid someone that is also doing Wellington today. I don't know if you saw or not, but Kitchen Confidence, another food and drink streamer. He does some awesome foods. He definitely always brings the love to my channel. He retweets a lot for me on Twitter, which I'm not very good at, so thank you to him for that. So we're gonna go see Casey. He's doing beef Wellington, round 2. Excited to watch that. I will see all of you lovely people tomorrow. Cannot believe it's Monday again already. Good weekend. Good weekend, guys. We're rolling into December next week. I sound like Sarah Silverman. That is not the first time I've gotten that. Okay, back tomorrow, streaming dinner. We will see you guys then. Totally cool. Yes. Thank you, creamers. Cookie, thanks for the 1,000 biddies today, as always. Really appreciate it. Okay, let's go show Casey some love. Sam's just like into his food over there. I'm gonna go mow. Everyone take care of yourselves. Yeah, got him. And we'll see you tomorrow. Love ya. Bye.